What up, JT Nation? Jas Takhar here. Feeling lost in the noise? Chasing leads endlessly? You're not alone. In today's market, being the go-to expert means building a powerful personal brand. Today, we're diving deep into becoming the go-to expert, building your personal brand for inbound leads. I've got 5 burning questions from real sales pros, breaking down the exact systems and mindset shifts to turn your expertise into consistent inbound clients. Let's go. All right, Bo, let's start with the first question.
The first question says, with AI automating so much, how can salespeople use personal branding to stand out and build trust in a way that AI can't?
Look, with AI right now, we can't get away from the fact that people can get all the information way faster than even what we were getting with Google, number one. Number two, it's also a great strategy to use AI to help you with content creation. But for you to differentiate yourself, I got great news for you. Right now, the robots are not selling to robots. They're selling to people, meaning that people buy from people. So more than ever, the one thing that's not going to become a commodity that I can see in the near future is a personal brand. And so for you to stand out, you need to start putting out more content through video and audio. Essentially, the written word and images now, AI is going to be doing it a lot faster and you're not really standing out. But through video, like you're making your decision right now, watching me or listening to me. You kind of like my style or you hate my style and you're never going to watch again. And I hope you're not one of those people. And so to show realness, what you want to do is start showing yourself on video, start putting out more audio content. And look, because people can get information so quickly, a strategy that I've always used, it's actually like my main content principle, is give away all the information upfront for free. In fact, that's what I've always done with my 2 organizations when I started this process with content. With my real estate organization, what I started doing was making sure that I taught people how to buy, sell, and invest. Why? Because they could have found that out on the internet, on YouTube videos and on Google before. And now with AI, it's a lot quicker. But at least I get the opportunity to hopefully become the authority. And because I'm giving away all the information for free, when they're going to use someone, I have some trust built. So give away the farm as quickly as possible. All the trade secrets, your action step for this answer. And what I want you to do is simply just do 1 video on 1 platform today. And that video is, why did you get into the industry? Start talking to people. And it's very simple. Start the video. Everyone, I'm Joe. I'm in the insurance industry and I help people with putting out life insurance policies. And the reason I got into the industry, and then tell your story. I'm Bo. I got into car sales because of this. I got into real estate because of this. Let people and give people the opportunity to actually start making a connection with you. In an AI world, your human realness is your superpower. Give away the farm and connect with your authentic voice. Okay, Bo, what's the next question?
Okay, the next question says, what's the best platform for sales professionals to focus on for content creation in 2025? And what kind of content works best there?
I want to make this really easy on everyone. By far, the best platform right now for content creation for salespersons, specifically high ticket sales and relationship building sales, is YouTube. It's the ultimate authority hub. It's, in fact, the number 2 search engine globally. I actually wanted to make sure that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. And I know, and I check this, anywhere from 70 to 80% of buyers use YouTube to research. So if you're not using YouTube right now, there is the Instagrams, the LinkedIns, and those are fantastic. And we need to get on those. But by far, number 1 is YouTube, and the type of content that you want to put out there is educational. Teach people how to do things on their own, build the trust. When I did this back in 2019 with my real estate company, we earned millions of dollars by just making sure that we went on YouTube live. We recorded conversations with people. And what we were able to do with that is start to get qualified. And here's the best thing, pre-educated leads. They already had a lot of the answers, not all of them. They reached out to us because they wanted us to help them throughout the process. But the beautiful thing was that they not only trusted us a little bit more than they would have if they never saw us, but they already had majority of the answers. So now it was like answering, instead of 57 questions from a new cold prospect, it was down to like 12. And imagine if somebody's already watched you for 20 minutes or 10-minute long video, and now they're reaching out to you. You know you have a little bit of leverage. You're not always fighting uphill to build some credibility, especially if you have no credibility because they didn't see you anywhere. And so here's what I want you to do today. I want you to sit down and come up with one weekly topic that you can record that answers 2 to 3 questions that you normally get from people, and make it from the perspective of that you're solving the problem, right? So whatever questions you get, they might not be major problems, but I'm telling you, if someone's thinking about it, one person is thinking about it, that's usually reflective of like 10,000 people thinking about the same question. They need an answer. They need something. They need that problem to be solved. And so I want you to do one 10-minute video answering 3 to 5 top questions every single week. And now what you want to do is make sure your answers are clear, and you don't got to be over scripted. Let them connect with you as well. YouTube isn't just a video platform anymore. It's like the #1 educational search engine specifically for high ticket buyers. This is where you build your authority. All right, Bo, what's the next question?
How can salespeople create content that not only attracts leads, but also establishes them as thought leaders in their industry?
Look, becoming a thought leader in today's day and age has become a lot easier, definitely with using AI. The fact that you can put out content for free pretty much on all the social media platforms. But the fastest way to become an authority or a thought leader is to give value away for free and solve problems. That's it. Plain and simple. Give the value away for free, solve problems. Not only do you become an authority, not only do you become an expert, but you become the trusted authority over time. It's exactly what I did when I started with my content, even for the coaching company. Okay, so we started coaching clients around 3 years ago. So 2025 now, in 2022, we started. I gave away all the tips. It's what I'm doing right here, right now. Okay, 96% of my revenues in the last 3 years for my coaching company comes down to all the long form content and the short videos that I put out on social media. Now, some of them were a mixture, right? It was me going solo, definitely within the last year, kind of like the sound of my own voice. So I wanted to make sure that I get to take the whole mic for the whole time. But a lot of them were interviews. So for my sales professionals that are in high ticket sales that you're all worried about, look, I'm too new in the business, you're actually in a great spot. Just do interviews with other people in your industry. You could do it outside your industry, just educating people, because then that's how you become a trusted authority and a trusted expert. Here's some examples. And your action right now is I just want you to do one. Just do one 30-minute interview with an expert. So if you're a mortgage broker, I want you to sit down with a real estate agent. If you're an insurance advisor, I want you to sit down with a financial advisor. If you're a financial advisor, sit down with a mortgage broker. You don't have to overthink this. Have 5 questions ready. What, where, when, how, why. Use AI to help you with some of the questions of who you're meeting with. Take that recording. Okay, I want you to take that recording, and then you're going to be able to become the expert because you're the one who's giving out information. Simply put, to be the expert, become the teacher. Your content should answer questions and bring in other experts. All right, Bo, what's the next question?
The next question says, I'm creating great content, but it's not getting seen by enough of the right people. How do I effectively imply my message to attract more qualified inbound leads?
Yeah, this is good because I'm glad that you're producing content. Now we just need to amplify the awareness that you're not getting specifically from the right people. And so what I like to coach on here is not to be reactive. Look, you could put out content on the social media platforms and on YouTube and on audio platforms and wait for the organic reach to happen, like where you hit on one of the videos. And that's good, but keep in mind, if you're putting out content, that's going to happen for you. But I want you to be proactive. I want you to think about the distribution of the content from a proactive perspective. Here's how you do this. You need to start to repurpose your content. So what I do is, from any long form content that I produce, 10 minutes and above, I ensure that I'm going to take that recording and put it into the faces and into the ears of my email list. Now, I have an email list collectively of somewhere upwards of about 25 to 26,000 now, okay, with a couple of my organizations. I've been nurturing and building this. Now, these people have been receiving emails, some of them for 18, 19 years from me. And if they were going to unsubscribe or they weren't valuable, they probably would have done that a while ago. And so what I do is I take the long form recording, because the email list consists of my target market, it's the right people, I make sure I put it in front of their face. So that's one thing to do. Number two, you might not necessarily be on the right platform. Let me explain. What you want to do here is that you want to ensure that you're on all the platforms as humanly as possible. So one thing that I kind of get to hang my hat on is I might not have hundreds of thousands of followers or subscribers on any one of my platforms. Collectively, I do, though, right? Because I came to learn very, very quickly that when I would meet people offline, so not necessarily communication through DMs or comments, just people in the washroom, at a cocktail party, at my office, at events that we would put on for our clients, they would tell me that they never saw me on Instagram. And I was like, wow, I put out a lot of content on Instagram. But they would tell me that they watch my content. Then I'll say, is it YouTube or is it TikTok? They'll be like, no, I've never seen any of your videos, actually. I just listen to you in the car, which is through the podcast audio platforms, the Spotifys and the Apple Podcasts of the world. And on the flip side, people are like, I didn't even know you had a podcast, bro. I only see your stuff on TikTok. So what you want to do is, again, you want to make sure that you're proactive and be on multiple platforms. And don't forget one very important thing here. When you're speaking to people offline, ask for feedback as much as you possibly can. So the next time someone says to you, especially for the person who asked this question, that you're putting out great content, ask, like, what do you like about it? Don't let them off the hook. They gave you a compliment. Thank them. Just out of curiosity, person who said that you watch my content, what is it that you like about it? Like, you can ask my team. I do that religiously till this day. Why? Because I want to keep getting better, but I want to keep giving people what they like if I see a pattern. Some people will say, dude, I love the energy that you come. I love, I probably get what I get the most out of is I love that you show your failures and you talk about that. Well, I came back to the team and said, guys, I haven't heard this 10 or 20 times. I think I've heard this now 100 times in the last 6 months. There's a pattern here. Let's start to put out more content. It's resonating with people, right? And so quantity at first, then pull out the quality out of the quantity. Right? And here's what I want you to do right now to the person who asked this question. And if you're listening and you're putting out content, but you're not getting it to the right people, I want you to repurpose it to your email list. The next 10-minute video that you do from a content perspective. And if you don't do long form videos yet, that's fine. Take one of your best performing from the last week, short 60-second video, and I want you to repurpose that in an email to your database and quickly go into AI and just say, this is what the video is about. Can you give me an email that I can send out to the database that would hook them to want to see the video? Because that's a very quick way to get your content in front of the right people. Don't just create content, amplify it. Get in front of more people and consistently ask for feedback. All right, Bo, what's our next question?
The next question says, how can sales professionals balance personal branding with their actual sales work without burning out?
Yeah, this is important because, especially with the energy I came with in this episode, and I know I do a lot with my coaching clients when it comes to putting out content. But at the end of the day, you could have the best content. You could have it figured out from an algorithm perspective. But if you're not going to do this for the long haul, and it's not going to be sustainable. You're just not going to be able to, if it doesn't make you happy and if you don't enjoy it, how in the world are you going to keep doing it? And so I completely understand this. I've had to multiple times on my journey of content creation now, which is 5.5, 6 years, is just take off some time. I take off looking at social media content and recording every about 4 to 5 months. I take a week off, and sometimes during end of August time where I try to get away with my family, I might take 2 weeks off. You know what I've come to learn? Nothing happens. That's it. Like, you don't lose momentum. You don't come back on and then your views are gone. That doesn't happen. You actually come back more refreshed. What I do during the week, what I would highly recommend is have a content schedule. I know for a fact I record my weekly podcast, like it's in my schedule, once a week. I also record with my team short videos that we need to put on for social media. It doesn't all come from our long form. And I make sure that's blocked out. And so what you want to do is use one of my pillars here. One of the Jas Takhar 5-pillar sales methods, one of the pillars, in fact, the first pillar, and probably the most important, is time blocking. Because if it's not in your schedule, it's just not real. It's not going to happen. And so what I do is I ensure that I have 1 hour a day where I'm going to record content. It's exactly what I want you to do. Pick any hour that you think you're going to be best at from a video perspective, and just schedule a content creation hour and just batch some content in there. Very easy. Just make it non-negotiable. It's like an appointment with a client. You're not going to miss an appointment. Not if you're serious. And if you're serious and you understand that content is important, you are not going to miss this appointment. 1 hour, if you're best in the morning, schedule. If you're best at night, schedule it then. And that's where you batch it. If you get 5 done one day because you came with a lot of energy and you got 2 done the rest, that's better than being inconsistent and getting 0. Consistent personal branding, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Systematize your content creation and schedule it and schedule breaks to avoid burnout. All right, JT Nation, that's a wrap on our deep dive into becoming the go-to expert building your personal brand for inbound leads. We've talked about standing out with your human connection in an AI world, choosing the strategic content platform for impact, creating content as an authority builder, using the content amplification loop for more reach, and finally, building a sustainable personal branding system. I hope you got massive value from these actionable insights today. Now remember, these are powerful tools, but truly mastering them and implementing them into your daily process takes a system, accountability, and the right framework. If you're ready to stop guessing and start scaling, and you want to build these systems directly into your business to achieve consistent results without the burnout, I encourage you to check out our Jas Takhar coaching. The link is in the description below. And speaking of results, if you found this valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with another sales professional who needs to hear it. Don't forget to grab your free The 5-Pillar Cheat Sheet Guide. The link is also in the description. Until next time, keep crushing it, and remember, systems, appointments, momentum. Let's go.